Sit down, talk about it, close the deal.
His Worship, the Mayor, Senator Councillor Delroy Williams, Kingston and St. Andrew, Mrs. Sansia Bennett Templar, Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, Mrs. Valerie Vera, Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, Mrs. Anga Ainsley Bennett, Acting CEO, Companies Office of Jamaica, and Dr. Hugh Blake, Trade Administrator, the Trade Board. And of course, Mr. Michael McNorris, President of my Jamaica Chamber of Commerce. My sponsors, Miracle Corporation, Select Brands Jamaica, Sleek Jamaica, Guinness Smooth, Smirnoff Jamaica, and of course JABLUM, the best coffee beyond compare. I think they all did a good job of greeting you tonight, didn't they? Fantastic. And of course, my sugar artisans, so much talent in this room. Ladies and gentlemen, my sugar fam, good evening. Here's your boss, Barbie. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for coming tonight. We're gonna just show you a little snippet of what Sugar Lifestyle has been up to. We've been trying to create a buzz around the place. I think we've been successful, and there's much more to come.
I like the fact that most things that we see here, everything that we see here is made in Jamaica. I particularly loved the candles because every one of them was authentic.
Hi, I'm Marshall Hutchinson from the Epiphany Beyond Body, and I've been a sugar artisan for the last 4 years. I've received tremendous support being a sugar artisan, both during the events where we have access to resources that will help us with sales, to the layout. All things done during the show are to help us to further our sales for that day, as well as after the shows where our products have been included in corporate Christmas orders, Father's Day or Mother's Day gift boxes, multiple years in a row. This includes the patrons of the Sugar Lifestyle events, many of which have become long-term customers of ours, purchasing gifts for families and relatives and friends overseas, gift certificates for family and friends here in Jamaica, especially during the Christmas time, as well as purchasing monthly service packages from us to tend to their wellness needs. With that being said, I look forward to Sugar Lifestyle events every year, as it is one of the shows that I am sure to have a really good return on investment. The support during the event and after has been incredible over the years, and I'll continue to participate.
Hi everyone, my name is Joni and my partner Sydney and I own the Popular Confectionery. We focus on unique frozen and baked treats, and we've been sugar artisans for about a year now. It has been of really great benefit to us. It's one of the few pop-up events that goes beyond the event itself. Instead, Randy and Gabby are very focused on getting us into spaces that can prove to be an opportunity for us to develop. So for example, we got to experiment with some really cool wines from Miracle Corporation through their relationship with them as sponsors. We were also able to meet with the procurement team of PriceSmart, which is really cool because I don't think most people know how to get into that space, especially at our smaller level of a company. So that was really interesting, and when those things don't necessarily manifest into anything immediately, we still see it as a gain because it puts us into spaces where we would have otherwise had a challenge getting into. So we definitely think that everyone should support Sugar Lifestyle. It's good for the artisan, it's good for them, and it's good for the patrons that come as well. And the general universe of companies and artisans that they support, it's really good. So we really think that you should support them.
Hi everyone, I'm Peter Gay Mills, owner of Milk Jamaica, a dairy-free ice cream company. Participating in the Sugar Lifestyle Trade Show in 2021 marks a significant turning point for my business. The event allowed my little product to step out from the shadows of word-of-mouth promotion and make its debut in front of an audience. The breakthrough not only boosted my confidence, but it solidified the idea that milk had the potential to reach an even broader market beyond just my hometown. For me, what sets the Sugar Lifestyle Trade Show apart is the consistent pattern of success I've experienced every time I've participated. Without exception, my dairy-free ice cream has always been met with demand, leading to a complete sell-out of my products by the end of each event. So, to the driving force behind the Sugar Lifestyle brand, continue to nurture and encourage innovation.
I don't need no negativity around me. High frequency, I'm talking higher G-O-D, yeah. Good energy, I don't need no negativity around me. High frequency, I'm talking higher G-O-D. The rose quartz, that fluorite, crystal vision, intuition, foresight. Even my lucid dreams started getting more right. Now I waste more days and I live for more nights. I get high on life cause it feels more right, yeah. Tell me what's wrong from right. It's all connected, energy can never die. One in the dark, but I chose to be the light. Look at me funny, I caught out your evil light. Words of advice, bitch, don't kill my vibe. No more depression, please don't kill my pride. Road of religion, I'm catching them green lights. Spread out my wings, I'm catching them free flights. Free as a bird, out of sight. Singing every little thing gonna be alright, yeah. Hey,
Thank you, everyone. So, as you can all see, Sugar Lifestyle launched in 2018. This is our 6th year. And this is probably one of the biggest receptions we've had. We've just been gaining traction year after year after year. I really appreciate the support each time and every time, right? We have mainly female entrepreneurs. The pool of sugar artisans gets bigger every year, from 10 to 50 to over 200 now, where I strategically select my artisans for each event and occasion, pop-up, expo throughout the year, so that you guys are exposed to a high quality product. We in Jamaica are more than Rasta-colored beaded bracelets and tie-dye dresses. We have much more, don't it? We have much more to offer our people, as well as our visitors or tourists that come to the island and want to bring back a piece of brand Jamaica with them, right? But of course, to do all of this, we need support. Takes cash to care, right? This is our launch event, where, of course, you are used to the pop-ups we have. They're small. This is larger scale. Thanks to the AC Hotel for giving me this platform to highlight my own GW art and my community of artists. And the best of fashion, you know I love fashion, style, right? Home care, personal care, home accents, right? Lifestyle, and of course, all in the Sugar Lifestyle curated environment with tasty bites and beverages, which I will join you with later. I can't wait. Okay, so we are looking to definitely expand this to the general public next year. And you're like, why is it so far away? Summer is the best time right now for the show. And we will just sensitize you now and make you yearn for more next year. Okay? Now, one thing I want to say before I welcome, my important guests. We are small businesses, one community, a small community. It takes a village. Help us to build beyond our town square, because it starts here. I'm now going to welcome someone I saw just 2 weeks ago in full support of Sugar Lights. A pleasant surprise. When somebody leaves your show and enjoys something and turns back in the parking lot for more, it says a lot. So, His Worship, the Mayor, Senator, Councillor Delroy Williams, Kingston and St. Andrew, please.
Honorable Minister 𝐎𝐴𝐵𝐿, Permanent Secretary, CEOs, members of the Sugar Lifestyle, and just residents, Jamaicans supporting this very critical movement within the city of Kingston, but having impact across the country. I just want to say briefly, and I'll use an occurrence this week to just say what I have to say about the municipality's role and support here. We had a meeting earlier this week to discuss the naming of the intersection of Trafalgar, Hope Road, and Waterloo Road, George Stibel Square. So we had invited members of the public to have a discussion on it at the municipality. It was supposed to be a town hall meeting about the naming of George Stibel Square. Apparently, the vendors heard that we're meeting to discuss George Stibel Square, but they have their own ideas of what we should be discussing. So they turned up in a large number, and they started to put on the table other issues, not George Stibel Square. Of course, there were many of them, so you couldn't dodge the issue. So they trapped me. And they were basically saying that, look here, this is August. It's back to school. And this is a good period for good business in the downtown space. And they wanted the municipality to create the environment for them to do good business in August. And I say that to say that that's how we really perceive the municipality's role within the city space. That's really our purpose, is really to create the environment for businesses to flourish. For businesses to flourish. To foster business opportunities and generate employment. So I was really, really very encouraged when I visited the first pop-up expo. And I visited, and I've heard so many things about it here today, and that was my experience. For one, after the event, for me, was significant because I saw so many products that I was interested in. And because of that, I've had an interest in going online, in purchasing online, and in also making a phone call or two and ordering. But not only that, I've been sharing all the information about these different products with my friends, with my councillor colleagues, and just my friends generally. And so I share that view that part of the importance of the pop-up events is the after the event, the impact and the success that comes with the event after. And because I find myself, wanting to purchase so many things after. And then another thing that struck me was the quality of the products. I was really impressed with the product quality and the wide range of products that were offered. As a matter of fact, I'm kind of embarrassed to say this. I really wasn't aware that there are so many products. Let me not say anymore. I think you get what I'm saying. So I really, the point I'm making as I close is, please continue to do what you have been doing. Artisans, please continue to work and to continue to invest in your products. They are really very good products. We are really impressed. The city stands ready to support in whatsoever way it can. In whatsoever way it can. You have our full support. I see Honorable Minister 𝐎𝐴𝐵𝐴𝐻 here. He would not be here if he didn't figure that this was something very important to the Jamaican economy. And the last thing I'll say, and I leave, I couldn't stand there and leave here without saying, the city of Kingston, the vision of the city of Kingston is really to be the pearl of the Antilles and the light of the Caribbean Sea. Pearl of the Antilles, the light of the Caribbean Sea. The pearl for us is really our creative talents, the creativity of the Jamaican people expressing itself in many ways, in business, in culture, in the arts, just expressing itself. The light of the Caribbean Sea is really the use of our intelligence, what we call the imaginative faculty, to solve really very complex problems and to be the masters of the Caribbean Sea. When you say this, there are Caribbean islands who get a little jittery, why do you want to be the master of the Caribbean Sea? Jamaicans always want to be the master. And I say to them, well, I mean, if you don't want us to be the masters of the Caribbean Sea, then challenge us. Because what that will do is like competition. That will just make the Caribbean better. And I really say that we want to be the masters of the Caribbean Sea because I believe that we have the intellectual capacity to be a great nation. But we can't do it without people like you, without artisans, without people who are creating products. Who are creating products of high value and quality. That is what is going to make us the pearl of the Antilles, the light of the Caribbean Sea, the masters of the Caribbean. You and what you do. Thank you very much.
Thank you. He's very right. He's very right. Sugar Lifestyle goes beyond just the shows. We don't just sell table space. We may not broadcast it enough, but I'm very happy to walk into a PriceSmart or a Fontana or a CPJ from Kingston to Mobe and see sugar artisans because we have introduced them in stores, pharmacies, hotels, and we, of course, are even looking to, of course, export and even pop up around the world because our diaspora is very, very strong. And we are making connections, okay? We have taken small strides because we are a small business, but we have a big impact because when we have a select amount of artisans and not hundreds of artisans or a sea of artisans, everybody is seen. I'm sure when you walked into this room, you saw everybody in here. And you weren't tired either. And it's a nice, cool, comfortable environment, the Sugar Lifestyle environment, right? So that is what we promote, and of course, the huge impact we have after the event. So small business, great impact. Okay, so I am going to welcome Miss Roxanne Lewis. I'm so happy she embraced Business Barbie tonight. Communication Specialist at the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle. I forgot I'm this tall, right? Senator the Honorable Auburn Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce, His Worship, the Mayor, Senator, Councillor Delroy Williams, Mrs. Sancia Bennett Templar, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce, heads of agencies, sponsors, media practitioners, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. The MSME Business Roadshow is a collaborative effort between the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce and the Inter-American Development Bank. The first staging of the Business Roadshow was on August 10, 2023 at the Gulf View Hotel in Mandeville. The objective of the Across the Island MSME Business Roadshow is to enhance the MSME's understanding of the diverse product and service offerings provided by the ministry, its 20 agencies, and the other government ministries, departments, and agencies and private sector partners. These events aim to promote significantly greater exports, improve local and foreign market access, create broader networks, and facilitate the growth and profits of MSMEs. The Business Roadshow features multiple interactive elements to facilitate B2B engagements. Now, MSMEs may participate in the business pitch competition. There are forums, expos, and the presentations are all geared towards empowering entrepreneurs to refine their strategies, improve their products, and explore global markets. Specifically, the business pitch competition offers participants the chance to secure cash grants of $300,000 per business, with a total of up to $900,000 in cash prizes. And this is all to foster business development. Now, to join, participants need to fulfill just a couple criteria. Operating for business over 3 years, you must be registered as a Jamaican company, you must be export ready, and demonstrate scalability. After an intense pitch session in which 9 enterprises from Mandeville presented their business plans and their ideas for business growth, through product and service expansion, 3 winners were chosen and received $300,000 in cash. The MSME Business Roadshow continues. Thursday, October 5, 2023 in Ocho Rios, Thursday, October 26, 2023 in Montego Bay, and the last one in this series will take place in Kingston in November this year. Now, registration is open for the pitch competition, and we invite you, along with other aspiring entrepreneurs, to take advantage of this opportunity by registering promptly to become a part of this dynamic event. For further information on the roadshow, persons may visit the ministry's website at www.miic.gov.jm, or you may call 876-968-7116. I look forward to welcoming you at the upcoming MSME Business Roadshow. Thank you.
Thank you. Now, Minister Auburn Hill has over 35 years of working experience in the private sector, but looking at him, it doesn't look like that at all. Birdie tells me he stays very fit. As an international banker, he has lived in 9 countries and done business in more than 125 countries. With an MBA from Harvard Business School, Senator Hill spent 21 years as a banker in the Middle East, starting in 2002. He also led the management team, which completed the successful turnaround of one of the largest banks in the Caribbean. Can you guess? National Commercial Bank, Jamaica Limited, NCB. In 19 months, 𝐴𝐵𝐼𝐻 and his team moved NCB's stock price from just $5.51 to $31.70 when he joined. In March 2016, Prime Minister Andrew Holness appointed 𝐴𝐵𝐼𝐻 to the Senate, and he was subsequently elected as Deputy President of the Senate. The Prime Minister also appointed Senator Hill as non-resident High Commissioner for Jamaica to India. After Prime Minister Andrew Holness was returned as Prime Minister in a landslide election on September 3rd, 2020, he invited Senator 𝐴𝐵𝐼𝐻 Hill to join his cabinet in the Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation. On January 11th, 2022, Prime Minister Holness reshuffled the cabinet and appointed Minister Hill, of course, as Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce. Minister Hill has responsibility for 20 agencies and departments, so that's why he has to stay fit. Minister has a firm interest in facilitating, enabling, and encouraging small and large Jamaican businesses to grow and be profitable. So listen up, sugar artisans. His focus is on growing exports exponentially and securing greater local and foreign direct investments into the Jamaican economy. So please, everyone, welcome Senator, the Honorable 𝐴𝐵𝐼𝐻 Hill, Minister of Industry, Investment and Commerce.
All of the men at the back there who catch a few drinks, this is a women's affair. So you're going to stay quiet till we let you out again to go have some more drinks. Because I have some numbers that I want to share with women that I want you to hear. But before all that, my friend and fellow senator, His Worship the Mayor, Senator Delroy Wilson, Mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew. Mrs. Gabrielle Burgess, CEO of Sugar Lifestyle, who is also a fitness trainer, and she plays tennis, and she does all kinds of wonderful things in her time, and you can see the energy and the verve that she brings to Sugar Lifestyle. My own elegant Mrs. Sansia Bennett Templer, who is a permanent secretary, the Ministry of Industry, Investment and Commerce. I know we have at least 2 CEOs of the 20 agencies in the ministry, so I'm going to recognize them. Mrs. Valerie Vieira from Ōlō-Nonor, Jamaica Business Development Corporation. Everybody knows Valerie. Somebody who you can't do without if you're going to export, and you have to export. Wait till I finish with you tonight. Everyone that you're going to leave out here, go export. I don't care what you make. He is Dr. Burke. Actually, he's retired Major Hugh Blake, not Burke, Hugh Blake, who is the trade administrator for the Trade Board. And because I get the numbers of how many people MSMEs employ in the country, it's about 80%, from somebody who you don't normally know. I know him for a long time, Mr. Ainsley Powell. I'm sitting right there in the back. Ainsley, you have to wave your hand. He's the tax administrator. Is him. Is the taxman. Is him. Is not the government. Is him. But the government hasn't raised any taxes in 7 years. So you have to love Mr. Powell. Mrs. Inger Ainsley Bennett, acting CEO of the Company's Office of Jamaica. The sponsors. We can't do anything like this without the sponsors who are from the private sector. It's the private, give them a clap. Because it's the private sector who pays the Prime Minister's salary. And you know how much money those people in the private sector make because the banks them out there announce it. So nobody with the little old politician them pay, but it's the private sector who pays the Prime Minister, pays the Finance Minister, pay my salary, the Permanent Secretary, the Mayor, because it's them pay the income tax, they pay the customs fee, and we must recognize that every business in here this evening is a crucial part of that ecosystem. The media practitioners, I welcome you. And I welcome you to say that Jamaica is changing. You drive around anywhere, and we're not talking just about downtown. You see how downtown changed? The place clean. I drive across the country, the countryside, all when them throw the bottles in the bush is now being cut, and the place clean. My friends from all over the world, and as you can hear, I live all over the world. They come to Jamaica, and because I don't know what they expect, but when they finish, them say how the place clean and pretty. Downtown, the mayor, let me tell you, walk on Water Lane and Temple Lane. Just go see what the kind of artwork that the mayor and his team and Mrs. Strong and the rest of them are doing downtown. Jamaica is changing. Sugar lifestyle is part of that change. Popping up everywhere. Young women, mainly young women, entrepreneurs that are doing this. Jamaica is changing. MSMEs are pivotal driving force behind the growth and job creation in Jamaica. That's why we're having the roadshow. I have the IDB give us $250,000 US dollars to put this on. We have started with 4. We're going to have others. We have sponsors, Sagicor, Lynx, DBJ, of course, and Lasco Financial. But there are others coming on board. And by the way, the permanent secretary is here. She has a phone that can take numbers and take contributions. This is her show. She runs it. I go and she said, okay, go and speak, I speak. But I'm telling you that Jamaica is changing in a wonderful way in that, in addition to the combined initiatives that increase access to opportunities and resources, education, of course, training, healthcare, technology credit, employment, the growth of women's entrepreneurship is a significant force to empower women in Jamaica. Women entrepreneurs are a major factor for change in Jamaican society. Not just to cook, not just to look after children, to run businesses too. And all the men used to go out and make big speech and make talk on stock exchange. Are the women them in the place that run it? You know, says the women them have back there around the place. Me not calling your name, you know, Michael. Me just say is women behind you. But you know, I'm still celebrating Jamaica's low unemployment. 4.5%. The lowest historical unemployment Jamaica has ever had. You know what lowest historical mean? That means it never happened before. Never. Not since record were being held, or even before that. It's growth across all sectors. Women, men, and the youth unemployment. Usually the youth unemployment is going up when the other unemployment is going down. No, not this time. Youth unemployment gone down too. So everybody across every sector is growing well. I want to leave you some points, though, about what women are doing in this country, because sometimes we just kind of brush over it. Heart Trust NTA, they are having about 62% of their enrollment as women. About 57% of the graduates out of those programs are women. You go to the university, UA, 73% average women graduates. Women run things. When you go to UCC, 80% of the graduates are women. So when our friends from overseas, and you know who they are, come and talk about gender equity, we just run out the number. And we say, how much you have over there? I graduate as women. And we change the conversation very quickly, because we're running ahead of them. There are two countries in the world where women are leading and really are powerful. It's Jamaica and Colombia. Jamaica and Colombia. Not the ones them who tell us about how gender equity must be good. We do it. Them talk about it. We do it in Jamaica. Give yourself a round of applause. NCU University, I was just down there at the weekend, representing the Prime Minister, looking at the people who are graduating. They're doing 68%. So when I look at all those things, I have a challenge for you. I have a challenge for all of you women. And all those men at the back too. All of you. Let me tell you something. When I came to the ministry last year, as you heard, it was in January, May I got the first numbers for export. And what I saw blew my mind. In that year, in 2021, the year before 2022, we imported 5.975 billion US dollars. We sold a tiny little bit of exports, 1.441. The negative balance was 4.534 billion US dollars. Now, if you run any business like that, and you are spending so much more than you're earning, you're heading for a bad place. But if that was bad, listen to this. Because last year was our 60th anniversary, I asked for the figures from 1960. Then it was 61 years. Out of those 61 years, there was 1 year that we had a positive trade balance, and it was 1966. So all you women and men in here, mainly women, we have been able, I tell you Jamaica is changing, we've been able to get the debt to GDP and grab it around its waist and working to grab it around its neck and get it under control. We moved it from 147% down to 78% and moving to 60%. But something that we do not talk about in this country. How many times you ever heard exports being discussed at your table? Never. Almost never. So now we're going to have to take on exports like we took on the debt. And everybody is going to have to export. Why? Because right now we're in Budapest at the big athletic event. We don't like to come second in anything. Nothing. We get up tomorrow morning, go listen to who are run. It's because we think they're going to come first and we want them to come first. Well, I'm going to tell you something that I hope it upsets you like it upsets me. We are second to last in the CARICOM region in terms of our per capita GDP. That means if we split up all the GDP in Jamaica, among all Jamaicans, we are making less than 5,000 US dollars a year. We are second to last. The guys who are at the top are $30,000 US per year per capita income, and they're at the top. So you see where we have to go. But you know, we're Jamaicans. All I'm laying out to you is the challenge. So everybody must leave out of here, especially women who drive this country. And every time you talk, when you go to your boss, if you have one and you're not yet the boss because you're going to be boss soon, when you talk to the boss, you say, boss, what we're going to do about export? Every time him talk about how you must do better and increase, and say, boss, how much we're exporting this month? Get it in their heads, because it's we have to change it. Nobody is going to change our export position. Nobody coming from China, the United States, or the dumb rep to make Jamaica a better exporting country. It's Jamaicans have to do it. We have to do it. So in light of Sugar Lifestyle, I really want you to enjoy what you do. I really want you to, as women, become extremely successful. Unfortunately, because you're made the way you are, you have to have your hands on many things. God bless you. I love women because they do so many things so well. I don't know how you do it. Me can focus. The PS give me one job and me focus. And she gone and do 15 over there with the ministry, because she runs the ministry. So, I take trade missions overseas. The first time I went to Guyana in October 2022, I took 30 people. January this year, I took 73. The Guyanese asked us to come back. Why I do that? Because you can't stay in your office, whether you're the minister or your business people, and get overseas market. Come out of your office and go travel and get business and market, because that's the only way we're going to get rich. Remember I tell you about those numbers? We cannot keep selling to only 3 million people, 3 million relatively poor people, and become a wealthy country. We have to sell to the world. Val Rivera is here to help you. Hold your hands, establish your business. Company office is here to help you to make sure you register your business. Jaipo is there to register your brand. Register all your brands. Somebody with T-Fit. It's not because them wicked, it's just a business there. So, I'm going to lead some more everywhere I go. Atlanta, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, what we want. The first thing them say we want, ackee. Goya wanted 20 containers. They could only get one. Why aren't we growing more ackees? We have to run it like a business though. You need irrigation, you need security, you need people who can do it properly. They want callaloo, they want Scotch bonnet. We have markets, we're not producing enough. Investors in here, investors listening to me, invest in Jamaica in terms of what we can do. But we don't have to do that alone. They want breadfruit flour, they want the sheen flour, because they don't want the gluten in the wheat. So it's our time now. Take charge. So I'm going to encourage you, use JAMPRO, use JBDC, use everybody in the ministry. I'm very happy to be here this evening to make sure I encourage a wonderful young woman and her young friends as women to make sure you build your business. And you say you're looking at export, me no want to look. We want to hear by the end of the year, all I want to export something. God bless you, God bless her, and export a lot. We love Jamaica.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Senator the Honorable Alvin Hill. So encouraging, so very encouraging. Am I right? Yes, and I also want to acknowledge a white flower in the room. Metri Siaga is not here tonight, but his wife, Nadine Siaga, is here. I'm happy he decided to join me. Yes, thank you. All right. So I want to invite both of my ministers in the mayor, Senator the Honorable Alvin Hill, yes, and His Worship the Mayor, Senator Councillor Delroy, please come up. It could not be a sugar lifestyle event without giveaways or gifts. You know that I'm good for that. So on behalf of Sugar Lifestyle, JABLUM, Uncle Neehi's, and Little More Chocolate, we have gifts. I'm bearing gifts for both of you. Where should we start? Right here?
Right here, so the cameras can get you.
Okay.
There you go, Mr.
Thank you.
Minutes.
And thank you.
And thank you very
And
much.
standing next to me.
And now we move there so the cameras can get you. There you go. All right, one there. Yeah, man. Now, isn't this wonderful that a young lady and her friends like this can do this? That's amazing. It's not.
Sharma Taylor, welcome. Tell us about what a mother's love don't teach you, 'cause I know a lot.
Hi, everyone. Can you hear me? Yeah. No, I'm just so fired up, from the speech of Senator. So, good evening, all protocol observed. I feel like I want to export something. I don't have anything to export. I'm a lawyer by profession and a writer. I don't know what to go export. I just want to go export something. Right, exactly. And so I'm just so encouraged. I'm so thankful, so grateful to be here this evening. I want to take a moment to big up Gabby and her team. They put a lot of work into this event. She's looking here very demure, and she had to really be like, the duck with the what? That is her foot going like this. I want to big up Gabby for giving us the opportunity to be here this evening. I want to big up all of the artisans. Before you guys came in, I went to everyone and I felt like I wanted to just buy everything. The pocket wouldn't allow. Sometimes I do. I'm a big supporter of her shows, and I just want to say to all the artisans, you are so talented, so creative. I mean, when I'm around you guys, I just feel inspired by what you do and the creativity, and don't be discouraged, just keep going, keep going. And I want to thank the crowd here. I mean, you could have been anywhere else this evening, and you took your time out. When I saw the rain, I was like, boy, I wonder what's going to happen. But you all turned up, and I just want to big you up for being a supporter of the arts. So, without further ado, I wrote a novel. It's called What a Mother's Love Don't Teach You. It's published by a UK press called Virago. That's how the white people pronounce it. We say Virago, but it's Virago Press. And it means the same thing. The words mean the same, just pronounced different. So I'm exporting, yes. And I want to say that for a Jamaican writer, don't just feel your market is Jamaica. You think broadly. And I know there may be somebody here who wants to write a book, because everywhere I go, somebody say, oh, you don't want to write a novel? You can write your novel. Be encouraged by what was said. The whole world is your market, right? And if you want to talk about writing, you can find me at the booth after. Take my number. I'm happy to give you tips and advice on how to get a traditional publisher, okay? So anyway, this book is set in the 1980s. A lot of you were not born then. I was. So it's set in 1985, and it looks at the story of Dinah. So Dinah is a helper. Most of us have helpers at home, and I was always fascinated by the fact that they know the family drama and dynamics, but there's very little that you know about your helper's background and lifestyle, if we're to admit it. And I thought about the idea of this helper who, when she's 18, gave up her baby boy, who she calls Son, to her employers. Fast forward 18 years later, she is working with another family, and she never heard from them again. They took the baby, they left, they went back to America, and she's convinced she's reconnected with her son. And so the novel explores, is it really her son? And the ramifications of that quote-unquote reunion. So I'm going to read a scene it's also written in patois, a lot of it. And you would think that the white people who publish and edit this book would have said, Sharma, what do you mean by this? But you'll be surprised. They say, you know what, the beauty of the patois language, them love it. You know, and if them can't understand what he said, them say, okay, context will tell me this is what you mean. If they don't know where, them Google it. And so I want to encourage Jamaicans, speak your language, write your language, embrace your language, right? Anyway, enough, I chat too much. When I was 18, so this is in Dinah's voice, so I'm going to read as quickly as I can to move on in the rest of the program. When I was 18, Leroy, my worthless boyfriend from all-age school, wrestled with me one evening in the cane field. I still had on my shorts and panty, so it was pure shock when my period stopped. 9 months later, here comes a cotton hair boy picnic, hair picky like mine, skin smooth like Leroy, head just as big, face wide and beautiful. Me never see eyelashes long so yet, lips so fine and full, and them little fingernails so pink and perfect. Long, long fingers like my mama. A strong, firm nose like him know him going to be one important man. Mama nearly get epileptic fits, so me tell her I'm pregnant. I was 18 and it's just 2 years in the job with the Steels, an expat couple who work for the US Embassy in Kingston. I never know what work Mr. Steele do at the embassy, but because of how everybody talked to him, I figure he must be a big shot. Them same work for the CIA, but I don't know if it's true. People say Steele wasn't even them real name. That is Far's identity. And them in Jamaica to spy we call Uncle Sam suspect we're getting too friendly with Fidel in Cuba, and Americans never want no more communism in them backyard. Make him help you get a US visa, Mama used to say. But me never ask, and the Steels never offer. Mr. Steele, white, pale like a full moon. In wife, Mrs. Steele was a black woman, more light-skinned than Mama, and her scarves smell like lavender, and she wear plenty bangle like them about to drop off her hand, and she dye her hair red. She let me borrow books and read them when I finish my work early. That woman filling up your head with pure words, Mama say, and suck her teeth. You can't eat them, fool, girl. And I picture Mrs. Steele in a white apron, serving some plump and juicy words on a plate, and I laugh. Some evenings, Mrs. Steele tell me about the years them they live in Africa. They're posting in places I never hear about yet, but she show me on a map. She teach literature at university there, she say, and I watch her eyes turn glass like she in a trance. Such beautiful people in Africa, sweet little babies. And then she get quiet. The Steels never have any children. Though me used to hear Mrs. Steele telling her friends when them come over to the house with them picnic how much she want a baby of her own. So I'm surprised when I said they're having what Mrs. Steele called a baby shower for me. The party did dead. Between me acting like me want to be there, the 2 sweet drinks Mrs. Steele make, the balloons losing air, the stale biscuits, and the crush up happy delivery sign across the hallway. It was just the 4 of them, Mama and me. Mama wear her one good dress, a stiff white-colored black shift that make her look like all the blood suck out of her face. The Steels wear some loose trousers and floral tops, Mrs. Steele said, them buy in Ethiopia. I was in distress since Leroy took up with a brownie named Shelley and moved to Montego Bay. Mama says she's not surprised because she don't know why Leroy want a black girl like me. Anyway, during the shower, I reel in with shock, sick from the baby or the breakup or the 2 of them together. I just couldn't stop wriggling at the chair. So you have no support, Mrs. Steele say. I never know to answer, so I look over at Mama drinking her Darjeeling tea. We could solve your problem, Mrs. Steele's voice shaky bad. She looked at her husband, who did stand up beside the glass window. All of a sudden, Mr. Steele looking hard on something outside. She rubbed her throat with her fingers and cocked her head to one side. Then she said, "You've worked for us for a long time, Dinah. So I know that you know I'd be a good mother. I always wanted my own child." I wonder what that have to do with me. Same time, she come out and spell it out plain. How about we adopt the baby when it's born? After all, you can't possibly look after it. I promise I'll take good care of it. I mean, the child. Think what it would be like for them growing up in a big house like this. She moved her arms around the room like she's swimming in the middle of the ocean doing a backstroke. Mama cup bang in the saucer. She pinch and push out her mouth till her lips them look gray. Think about it, Dinah. What mother doesn't want the best for her child? Mrs. Steele float to the window and hold on to her husband's hand. What can you give a baby that we can't? Her words sting me. I just was thinking I could give my child myself. Before I get to ask why that not good enough, Mama blurt out, what do you want with our baby? What I think is puss picnic what people plug out in a cardboard box? No, Mr. Steele trying to calm Mama down while Mrs. Steele bury her face in his chest. I'm not going to allow it. Mama eyes on fire. When you think that causing her rich is okay to do as you like? You're taking this the wrong way, Mr. Steele said. We're trying to help. You mean help on a sell to our picnic? I don't remember all that happened next, except Mama storm out with me behind her. That night, while me rubbing my soul and belly, all I thinking upon is Leroy. My back ache, the shadows from the home sweet home lamp dance like somebody with the devil inside them. And Mama snoring beside me sound like a horse cat clearing his throat. And I thinking about my son, because somehow then me know it was a boy, and picturing him right here next to me in the bed. I could see him wiggling his arms and legs and looking around this tiny room. And for the first time, I feel like we're in prison. And I know I had to get him out before the walls fall down on Halloween. Thank you.
All right. You enjoy that, right? It's a Barbie summer, so thanks, Ken. I couldn't help it. Okay, so I'm having some Prosecco from Select Brands, right? I had to just dip out and get it. Thanks for Select Brands, and I'm going to thank all the other sponsors here tonight. I want to tell everyone I appreciate you for being here, right? And then, of course, feel free to make your pledges for next year. Is everybody ready for the Art and Lifestyle, Sugar Lifestyle's Art and Lifestyle Expo next year, 2024? Cheers! Yes, let's embrace local, high-quality brand Jamaica, taking brand Jamaica to the world. Okay, so I need to thank a lot of people. Sugar Lifestyle has come a far way, and we have also a far way to go. I strive high. Now I see everyone that's had the bubbly. Okay, we're finishing up. Senator the Honorable 𝐎𝐴𝐵𝐿, thank you so much. I see that you enjoyed your time here, and you have stayed till the end. His Worship the Mayor, Senator Councillor Delroy Williams, thank you. Thank you. Mrs. Sansia Bennett Templar, yes, royal and purple. And my sweet Mrs. Valerie Vera, yes, CEO JBDC. And Mrs. Inga Hainsley Bennett, Acting CEO Companies of Jamaica, and Dr. Hugh Blake, Trade Administrator, Trade Board. And of course, I have to thank my sponsors, JABLUM Coffee, the best coffee beyond compare. They're celebrating 100 years this year, everybody. Senator Grant, congratulations. Senator Norman Grant, everybody. Somebody take his photo, please. Select Brands Jamaica, Miracle Corporation Jamaica, they're on board, especially during COVID. Sugar Lifestyle did pop-ups during 2020 and 2021, giving everybody a continued chance to do business because our patrons behave themselves, spread out, wear their masks, and sanitize with Miracle Corporation products. Guinness Smooth, Smirnoff Jamaica. I see my Ramon Hugh representative of JIPO, because out of COVID birthed so many businesses, especially Sugar Lifestyle and GW Art. We are trademarked. Thank you. Branson Center Caribbean, I don't know if they've left, Laura and Claire. They've helped to mold me. And of course, Miss Opal was just here, Opal Levy from Sisters Inc., DBJ, Development Bank of Jamaica, Jamaica Chamber of Commerce, Miss Prudence Simpson. I know she doesn't like her name called up too much, but when we have our shows at Jamaica Pegasus, it's epic, right? I have a lot of thanks to her, even though she is retired now, enjoying her retirement. And of course, the AC Hotel Kingston, because they see Sugar Lifestyle's vision as well. So we embrace all our local hotels. And wherever we end up next year, maybe here, you never know, we're ready. And my supportive in-laws, family, friends, I can say homies. Yes, you know, it's a Barbie world. I can say what I want up here. And One Touch Media, big up yourself. We're streaming live of it. DJ Irene, who's visiting from Europe, hot young female DJ, was entertaining y'all tonight in the innovative pre-function gallery. Thanks to her. And also, Jamaica Stock Exchange sent TV. They're very supportive with my interviews, promotions of shows, CVM at Sunrise. Thank you so much. And lastly but not least, my husband, Randy Burgess. My Ken, he's really a 10. Thanks everyone. Sugar family, you are my family. Look out for Sugar Lifestyle even more this year, and for more events to come. Enjoy the rest of the night. Shop as well. And there, of course, goodies left for you outside, and enjoy. Thank you once again. Cheers.